asking questions about boards and what he thought. You know, he loves riding bigger boards. You know, we saw what he did in Hawaii, and maybe right now we could see him put together a good heat up against Adriano de Souza.
And this wave ridden 10 seconds into the heat, so unfolding during that break.
It has that sunset feel to it. It really does. I mean, good size, big open ocean kind of feel. Get those lumps coming across, the offshore winds. I like it. This is a good addition. This big, raw, open, windy, challenging spot. Getting out here on a 6.6, which is a big board for Jadson Andre. You know, he was feeling like he even wanted to go a little bigger, but board choice looks all right. Ooh, wow, how was that? Just straight into the whitewash. Worked so hard to get that title that it kind of needed a little time off.
Well, Jadson having a look at this one. Scratching over the ledge to get into it, driving off the bottom. Stringing together a couple of moves here. Nothing super high impact just yet. And he's going to kick out. So getting a lot more opportunity than they did over at North Point yesterday, Pete. There was a couple of big lulls, and we're now seeing Adriano de Souza, who opened with a 6.5. There's some of those big drawn-out calves that we were referring to at the start of this heat that give him a bit of an advantage over Jadson. And that'll be a neat little backup score. And Jadson's going to be chasing Adriano in a moment when the score comes through.
Like that. You see how he held the rail all the way through. Same thing off the bottom. One more time. Those things are framed very nicely for the judges to see. They're like obvious that they're big, wide, open turns. Late drop to get into this one, but I love this. Watch how long he holds the rail. And he, you know, adjusts the speed through the maneuver, and then there, no adjustments, no pumps on the board, just straight transition from one rail to the next. Board rarely goes flat.
Here we go, Jadson on the replay now.
So the little differences here, you can see he does those little adjustments off the bottom. You know, you can see the board wobbling back and forth, and it just doesn't look, you know, you like to see him, if he's holding that rail, to keep the rail from jiggling.
Really extended bottom turn. Seems to give them a lot more options, and what you get the opportunity to wash off the correct amount of speed.
And that starts from event 1. You've got to be determined each and every of the 11 events.
Jadson Andre, well, I'm not sure if he went over, but it looked like his board certainly got sloped over the falls there. Jadson making his way into the keyhole here.
Some time, right? This is already, we're probably a minute
so
and a half in.
So we might be getting a little break in the action. Going to cue over to Mark Clift on the boardwalk there with pretty stoked Joel Parkinson, I'd imagine, mate.
Always kind of amazes me just how well the Water Patrol navigate their way through those little deep water channels in the reef here. It's so hard. Even the surfers, you can tell they're struggling.
So even that affects the pathway.
Look at this thing. Adriano drops into a bomb. Beautiful, clean wall to work with. And he just hangs on that rail for an age. So working hard at the moment, just flowing his way through these rides at this stage. Hasn't really thrown down those big dynamic turns that we've seen.
And look at it, it's clean snap right in half. So that's that power of the great Southern Ocean exploding onto Jadson's board and just destroying it. The grommets are here, they want to take it. We'll have to see if it's okay with Jadson, but you might want to hold on to it, kids. But there you go, that's the power we're dealing with here today at Margaret River.
Oh, we're seeing the replay too of the wave that broke Jadson's board. He got hung up in that lip, Pete.
Yeah, and so it's in the power of the wave. You can see it goes over the falls, and right there, that explosion of the whitewater coming up, the force of the wave pushing it down, snapped it right in two.
Here we go, Jadson having a look at this one. Clean wall on a new board he might not have ever ridden before. Nice little slice off the top. This wave flattening out though. Jadson Looks like he's going to commit to this inside section, a bit of steeper face to play with, and does well to hang on to that last turn. It's probably going to be his best wave.
I know that they've been experimenting with Italo. As you watch the replay here, first turn ever on that board. Pretty nice. Good slice, like you had said. I think the wave kind of let him down right there where it flattened out. But did well get that final move right before the bricks.
Falling out of the mix in that heat against Parko, and prior to that, Zeke Lau fell out of the draw to Owen Wright. But some of the lower seeds did prevail in the opening stages of this second round, as we see Adriano starting to lay in a little bit harder to those rail turns. Bringing this one through to the inside, looking for a solid finish. Goes a little laid-back snap.
Great wave choice again. I mean, look how clean his waves are. That first section sets up this fixed turn. You see, loads up all the way through the carve. And then here, unfortunately, that wave just flattens out, which we've seen most of the morning. But then there, just kind of had to chop the snap. You know, you didn't really get to really lay into it like you would have probably wanted to really finish that wave. Nice drone angle there. You know, and that's that knowing that dry reef is sitting there.
He was, you know, he said he had to settle himself and just know that, stay confident in himself, but knew how deadly you were out here. It must feel pretty good to have that come, you know, put that into some other competitors.
Yeah, for sure. It feels incredible to hear someone like Joel say something like that about me. And I mean, as he said, I feel like these waves kind of suit my surfing. And yeah, well, I just feel confident out there, and you know, the way you want it to go, of course, but
not let it affect you negatively. And you're right, he's very composed. Take a look at Jadson here. Nice first turn. Good choice, straight up in that vertical section. Would have loved to have seen him finish here, though. I mean, he was on his way to making the judges have a good think, but right there, not able to complete that final move.
It's just rank, that end section, sometimes for these guys. It's so hard to hit. Like, what are your options, really? You can't go vertical. You've got to kind of bank off it. Then you've got the other white water coming at you, and you just get stuck in between it all. And here's another one of those oncoming sections for Adriano. He just does what he has to survive. He likes the feel of that one. Has the feeling it's going to better one of his scores. And
late drop, too. Hangs on. To see how he went more vertical on that first section. Comes down nice and clean, the big round carve. And then that final move, he low roads it too. You see how he didn't go up high into that section because he knew that if he got caught up there that whitewater would converge again. Whereas if you hit it kind of midway and kind of rebound off of it and post yourself out into the flats slightly.
Term was that late drop, and it was the highest scoring ride of the heat.
Got an 8. You know, went excellent. You know, again, so the judges showing, hey, if you go up vertical and show up and connect with that lip in that first section, nice late drop.